Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of The Tower, a free mobile game, and you do not have to pay any money to play at all, but it is better if you do. This is the first episode. I've played this game for about 6 months, and the simple premise is the little yellow circle in the middle that you see right now, that is your tower, and all the objects are coming in, the projectiles, whatever, the enemies are coming in to destroy your tower, and your goal is to upgrade yourself enough to defend. Whenever you kill the enemies, they drop coins and dollars. So if I hit this, and if I click on the hit text and then show hit text, whenever I kill an enemy, you will see that some of them drop a cash value of like 32,000 and some of them drop a coin value of around 2,000, 20,000. The number kind of varies. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that back off just because it is better for FPS. And so my cash is in the top left and my coins are in the top left. The cash is used in the game, so like this is considered a run, and it is used to upgrade these purchases right here. So enemy attack level escape is 520 million for 3 of them. So if I click that, it used my cash but not my coins. So I'm going to go ahead and end the run here, which is something you never want to do because you lose out on coins. As you can see there on the bottom, it says total coins. The farther you go, the more you make. So obviously I stopped at 769. My highest is 9,000. So the farther you go, the more coins you make. So now we're on the home screen. My coins are in the top left. I have 9.3 trillion. And if we go here to the workshop, we have our damage category. We have our defense category, our utilities, and our ultimate weapons. So I'm going to kind of go one by one. So defense, damage, self-explanatory, attack speed, how fast you attack, your critical chance, how much more damage you do, damage per meter you do, more damage the farther away an enemy is, bounce shot, crit chance, super crit chance, rapid fire. All these things, obviously make your tower a little bit better. Same thing in this category, health regen, defense percent. This is a flat percentage of the defense that is blocked, so we're at 66.5 there. Defense absolute is applied after defense percent. So there's a lot of things to learn and work on as you upgrade your tower. I have been playing for about 5 to 6 months, so here at the beginning of the video, let's go ahead and check out my stats. So I started on March 16th of 2025. My lifetime coins earned is 133.72 trillion. My stones earned is 8,517. Now the stones earned is a very, very important indicator of where you are in the game, and so is coins, obviously. So we'll get into that more a little bit later. As we scroll down here, you'll see my waves and coins that I've gotten from every tier. Tier 7, I just did last night, my highest run ever on 10,622 waves, and I got 2.36 trillion coins. I usually farm tier 8 overnight and get around 9,000 waves and get about 2 trillion. And then during the day I get tier 9, 8,200 waves, and I get 2.1 trillion. Now that's pretty good. The reason I do tier 9 and tier 8 is because those don't take quite as long as tier 7. Tier 7, that 10,600 waves took me about 14 hours, give or take 30 minutes or so. And so tier 8 and tier 9 is more manageable during the week whenever I work and stuff like that because, I do check my phone and get on social media a little bit, but overall I let the game run on my phone for the most part. And so, I will lose an hour or so here and there. And so it's just easier for me to do the little bit less waves so I can still enjoy my personal life. So this is what my waves look like so far. Tier 12, I did try that as a milestone run today, and I'll show you what that means in a second. But tier 12, I got 3,300, so we've not quite unlocked tier 12. We have unlocked tier 11. Now, what that means is whenever you are on this homepage and you can change your tiers here. Ooh, gems, let's collect those. On tier 11, we have 4,697, and tier 12, we have 3,332. Now, whenever you click the milestones button, you'll see that it maxes out at 4,500. On the left there, that tier 12 relic for Chrono, that unlocks 10% lab speed. And lab speed is one of your most important things in this game. So, one of the things that allows you to progress in this game is the level of your labs. So, let's go ahead and check that out. Over here in the labs category, you have 5 labs. Now, for me personally, I plan on playing this game for a very long time. And so, lab 1 is going to permanently have lab speed in it until I max it out. You'll see that I have a 4x multiplier for 14 hours and 30 minutes. And that means that every 1 day of real life time, the 10-day countdown to finish that lab, so every 1 real life day will take 4 days off that timer. So if we click on this and unselect hide completed, we will see all the different labs in the game. So we have lab speed, damage, attack speed, crit factor, health regen, basically everything that improves your tower from a normal base level standpoint. So your main goal in this game is to get your lab levels running, and that way you can slowly upgrade everything to increase your base, stat, damage, defense, etc. So as I scroll through here, you'll see a couple things. Lab coins discount, that is something that's very important because as you can see, every upgrade costs coins. Now, lab coin discount takes a certain % off of how much each one costs. You'll also see things such as game speed, so that is the overall speed of the game, which makes everything run faster. Deathwave cells bonus, which in the top right hand corner there where you see that yellow triangle with 535,000, those are your cells, and that is what speeds up the lab. If I click speed up, this is what speeds up your lab and makes everything run a little bit faster. So for me, that was something I focused on heavily at the beginning because I want to keep my labs running as much as possible, as fast as possible, because the more you get sooner, then the more progress you make later on. So, for the very beginning of the game, health and health regen is very important. That is called the turtle build, and basically you just want to create a strong shell and survive. Now, as you get more into the game, you want damage. So, as you'll see, I have wall health here. Now, wall health is a very important upgrade in the game. Before we dive too deep into lab speed, I want to go back to the workshop. So in your defense category, that's your attack. In the defense category, when you scroll down to the bottom, you unlock something called the wall. So if you play this game on your own, the wall is something you don't want to unlock unless you're making around 200 to 300 billion coins per day. The reason for that is this lab down here at the bottom called wall fortification. So if I click on that and scroll down to my wall fortification, you'll see right here, this wall fortification lab costs 2.12 trillion coins at level 34. Now this is a very important lab that you pretty much want to max out from my understanding of playing the game so far. So if you want to keep that lab running 24/7, you need enough coins to keep this lab running non-stop. And if you have a high speed up on that lab, then you need to have enough coins to keep it constantly running. So that's why you don't want to unlock the wall until then. There's a lot of things that go into it, and simply put, the wall is very weak when you first unlock it. So when enemies pile up on your wall, the enemy's damage multiplies every second that they are not killed. So as soon as your wall will break, then it will instantly become a problem once your wall breaks. It'll basically instantly kill you. So as you can see, I'm doing multiple health ones. So Deathwave health, wall regen, and wall fortification. Those all increase my base levels of health. I'm a little all over the place because there's a lot to unpack here at the very beginning of the tower. So health, there's 6,000 levels of health. I'm up to 5,500. Now, the higher you go, the more and more coins it costs. So health regen, I'm at 5,500 to 6,000. I'm actually going to go ahead and put a click of 100 into health regen, and that's going to put me at 5,600. So that's where we're going to be at for episode 1 here. There's also wall health down here, and that's a very important one for your tournament. You want to get that maxed out as soon as possible. Damage, I kind of just stuck it at 5,400 because 4 trillion for me is a little expensive for 100 levels, and I'm still able to max that out in tournaments. Over here on utility, one of your most important labs in the entire game, or your workshop upgrade, sorry, is your enemy attack level skip very early on. Now this has a chance of skipping an enemy attack level after completing a wave, and what that means is, for example, if your enemy attack is at level or 100 damage, you could go into the next round with their enemy attack level being the exact same. So it won't go up, and it allows you to go farther into the game and farm more coins to upgrade yourself later on. So that's very important to unlock. Now, as you get into the game, when you solely rely on damage, you want the enemy health level skip. But for me personally, right now, I'm still turtle build. I'm focusing heavy on defense early on and then going to switch to damage after my 1 year mark. That's kind of my goal. I'm going to play this game for a year, focus everything into health and health regen, and then after that, I'm going to go into damage. So that's that category. Now, your ultimate weapons. Your ultimate weapons are really important. If you are first starting out in this game, your number one ultimate weapon you want to get is a golden tower. What Golden Tower does is it turns your tower golden for 30 seconds. While active, you receive a cash and coin multiplier for every enemy kill. Now, obviously, yours won't be 16.3 times whenever you first unlock it. However, you can upgrade it. So as you get stones, you can upgrade your bonus, duration, and cooldown. Now, you get stones from tournaments. So if you go to your home screen here and you open this here, you participate in these tournaments. Now, I am currently down here at 23, and I am on the verge of being demoted. Now, as you see at the bottom, my current prize for rank 16 to 24 is 200 gems and 90 stones. You use those stones to upgrade your ultimate weapons. Now, you can see I have 198, and you can see that my Death Wave, Golden Tower, Black Hole cooldown are all at 2 minutes. That is called your sync. Now, you really want to focus on Golden Tower and Black Hole as your first two. If you don't get either of those as your first two ultimate weapons, you should highly consider restarting the game until you get those two. Next, in my personal preference, would be Death Wave. Death Wave allows you to get a higher health level from this lab right here, Death Wave Health, and that multiplies your base level of health by the percent that you see there. Then you also get the Death Wave Cells bonus, as you can see down there in the bottom right, and that increases the amount of cells you earn per elite kill and affects how you are able to boost your labs here. So those are the three most important in my opinion as you start the game. If you don't get either of those three, then you are really in some bad shape here. The next one I would recommend would be Spotlight. Spotlight will give you a bonus for coins for every enemy that is killed inside the Spotlight. Now, I only have one at a 30-degree angle, so I am not at the best level of Spotlight, but I would rather invest my stones into the trio and get that cooldown even lower, so those can constantly be running as much as possible. But eventually, once you get 3 Spotlights and a higher angle, you can double your coins a pretty significant amount because, again, in the labs, there is a lab down here under the ultimate weapon category that is the Spotlight coin bonus, and mine is only level 7, and I haven't focused it because my angle is so low, so it's not necessarily the best thing for me to work on right now. So if I go back here, Chain Lightning would probably be my next recommendation because it is really good for damage as you want to slowly transition into damage builds after you are out of your defense or EHP build, as people in the community call it. So with that being said, those are your first 4 you really want to focus on, and you might get a 5th one. Now I say you might get a 5th one because if anyone is here who has played the game for a long time, then you might know that with as short of time as I've been playing, and I already have 8,500 stones, I have bought a few stone packs, and I'm not going to hide that. I actually bought a stone pack yesterday, And a stone pack is $60, and it gives you 750 stones and 495 gems. And that basically helps boost your overall performance in the game. So I have bought a few of them, and the reason that I mainly wanted mine is because I got Black Hole as my first ultimate weapon, Golden Tower as my second, then I believe I got Spotlight, Chain Lightning, and then Death Wave. So I think I bought 2 or 3 stone packs because I really wanted Death Wave, and I really wanted to start the lab that was the Death Wave cells bonus. That was really important to me because I knew I would play this game for a really long time. So I really wanted that. And then yesterday I was just a little bit short of being able to lower my cooldowns down to 2 minutes. And once these are at 2 minutes, these ultimate weapons also synchronize with the event over here. Whenever you get these medals, you can upgrade and unlock your golden bot down here. And so the base level cooldown is 2 minutes there. So there's a lot that goes into trying to optimize your coins and everything like that. Now, I'm trying to keep this short and sweet, but also explain everything. So while we're here, this is the event. Now you can buy the event mission and it'll give you 2 times medals. So this login for 7 days, it says 20 medals as your reward when you get to 7 out of 7. That is actually 10 if you don't get the event boost. But I like these relics. They increase your base overall statistics for the game, and you basically progress faster when you have them. And yeah, so I think they're really important, and it's not really that much in the grand scheme of things, so I end up participating in buying them. Over here in the event shop where you spend your medals in the top right, I have 653. You can buy these skins here, and they also increase your coin income. So 0.8%, 0.4%, and then these are some more relics you can buy with medals. So this one increases tower damage by 5%. This one increases crit factor by 2%. You can also buy these songs here, and then you can also use your medals to upgrade your bots here. So in the top right, I have 653, and you can see my golden bot range is 660, so I'm just a couple off there. I'm still long ways away from unlocking Amplify Bot, and then Flame Bot, and then Thunder Bot. That's so far away from me. That is very, very in-game. You can also unlock stones, which help you level up your ultimate weapons and stuff like that. And then right under that is your module information there, and that is a very complicated subject I'm going to try to explain my best on. Okay, so with that said, next thing off of the main menu that I'm going to show you guys is the guilds. So this is my guild that I'm currently in, called Return on Investment. And what they do is we try to explain to everybody the best things to upgrade. That way you get your best return on investment. So time in labs to coins and stuff like that. I personally don't like to completely optimize my game and get the best return on investment, but I like to still make progress and have fun. So I'll explain that in a second as well. This is the Guardian, and it can have effects. So the fetch coin locates and retrieves hidden loot, coins, gems, metals, shards, and modules. This is a really, really good one, and I feel like I've kind of gotten mine to a really good point because this has a certain amount of daily cap limit. So for me, I've already hit my gem cap limit of 20, my metal cap limit of 10, and my common module 5 out of 5. Now my rare module is not, but whoops, gosh dang it, give me just a second here. But there's no point for me really to keep spending my gems in this, if you ask me, only because I'm mainly hitting my cap limit. Now I could keep increasing my find chance to get reroll shards and cannon shards and stuff like that, but I would rather invest it into this bounty chip where I get a higher multiplier for steals and coins. So I'm going to go ahead and increase my multiplier here and go ahead and spend all my coins and whatnot into that multiplier to get more coins. Okay, so back here, these boxes, 100, 250, 500, 750, what that does is you will complete these missions over here, and you will unlock these boxes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And for every guild member that completes, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, etc. Down here on all these members, you can see off to the right hand side. So where am I? Sleek, right there, 35. So I've completed my 35 weekly challenge box, and so I have completed 35 points to the guild. And as long as everyone does what they're supposed to do, you will max out your box here and get 750 points. And that is how you get the store resource up here in the top right. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and buy the thing that gives me the most coins as a part of this season's guild shop. And so that would be this 0.8% background cosmetic. So let's go ahead and buy that. As you can see, I have bought my armor shards, and I will explain that right now. So the only reason is because there's not much for me to buy here. So with that being said, the reason I spent the tokens on the modules is because of this right here. My Ancestral Sharp Fortitude, as you can see, I have 2% defense percent instead of the ancestral effects like the other ones, and that's because at level 101 I unlocked that brand new substat effect, and I just unlocked it, and I was trying to unlock it at level 101, and I thought that if I could get the 8% defense percent, it would give me more coins for being able to stay alive longer in my runs than if I bought the coin cosmetic. So that's why I did that. Now at the top, you'll notice I have 5,500 gems. Your main spend of gems is going to be in modules, but first, what I think is most important is maxing out your cards. Now your cards are, they help boost your base level of stuff in the game. So right now I have 17 out of 17 card slots active, and this is my farming cards. So cash, coins, crit coin, free up, health, recovery package chance, extra defense, enemy balance, wave skip, wave accelerator, health regen, energy shield, energy net, damage attack speed, berserk, and critical chance. Now you can see I can unlock a new slot. I'm not going to unlock that new slot right now because in the module section, whenever you buy modules, this is just your standard banner, and then they have a featured banner. The featured banner has certain modules that have a higher chance of being unlocked whenever you buy them from the featured banner, and there is a featured banner being unlocked on August 25th if I am not mistaken. And so I am saving all of my gems for the featured banner because we're not entirely sure what new modules are coming out, but I would like to be stocked up and ready for when those do come out. This was the latest one that came out, and as you can see, it increases the wall's health and regen by 2.5x, and the enemies take 1% increased damage from the wall thorns per subsequent hit. So for farming runs, that is very, very, very important, especially early on when you solely focus on your EHP. And so I almost did not get this Ancestral, and Ancestral is the highest level that you can get a module. I almost did not get this. I was down to the very last day that the featured banner was in the shop. And so I don't want that to happen again, and I want to be able to take full effect and full advantage, rather, of the featured banner. So we went over the workshop upgrades here. Now that's just the base level workshop and stuff like that. You might notice this enhance button in the top right. Now this will enhance your base level workshop upgrades. So damage plus, rend armor, crit factor, and then health regen, defense absolute, landmine damage, and then utility, cash, coins, cells, upgrades. Now I've not spent enough or unlocked enough coins to be able to fully unlock everything, as you might be able to see. And so we just have to keep farming and be able to unlock stuff such as unlock wall enhancements to, stay alive longer and be able to upgrade things a little bit better. So the enhancement section is probably the most expensive section in the entire game. And then the module section is probably the most important section when it comes to gems and stuff like that. So right above inventory, you might see I have 6,949 dice. Now the dice are reroll shards. So if you click reroll effect and you click reroll right here, we are looking for the ancestral defense percent substat. Now it is very rare. I have spent over 200,000 reroll shards trying to unlock the ancestral defense percent, and as you see, we did not get that. So I'm going to stick with my previous at the 2% defense, because every percent is a lot of extra waves we can get, basically. So that's why we want the highest. So we'll start with this one. This is our cannon, and this provides tower damage. So you have different effects that you can get and improve your damage and range and stuff like that. The Rapid Reach Blitzer is a normal level cannon module that you can get. We are searching for more of the Astral Deliverance right here. We don't have enough to upgrade it, so this only being epic, I feel like is still a lower level than this one of Legendary Plus. So that's why I've stuck with this one. This is the armor module, so it increases tower health and everything to do with health and defense and staying alive and stuff like that. The generator module is for our coin increase and bonuses and stuff like that. So the Galaxy Oppressor, collecting a recovery package reduces the cooldown of all ultimate weapons except Poison Swamp by negative 17 seconds. So every recovery package we receive, it takes 17 seconds off. So that is really, really good for our Golden Tower, our Black Hole, our Death Wave. Now, once we get really established and we have more stones, this will also be really good for Smart Missiles and Chrono Field until we are able to have 100% uptime on Chrono Field. So, again, that's a little bit later in the game, more advanced of where I am, and I am starting to record this just to document my progress, but also to see if I can't reach a new player base and see if I can't get more people into the game and just have more people to talk about the tower with, because it's a very fun game, relaxing, idle, single player, kind of fun to compare yourself with others kind of game. Down here on the bottom right is your core effect. So I'm using the Harmony Conductor. I would like to get more. Now I'm hoping with the featured banner, with all of the gems that I have, I will get a couple Multiverse Nexuses, and I'll show you what their unique effect is here in a second. But right now this is what I'm rocking with. Black Hole Size, Golden Tower bonus, only epic effects, but I'm hoping to get a legendary or mythic to be able to increase this, so I can obviously increase my coins earned. I do have a Dimension Core right here. So Chain Lightning has 60% chance of hitting the initial target. Now what this does is this increases your damage, and increasing your damage is good for tournaments. So that's what this is, and that's what I'm looking forward to, increasing this level as well. Now I'm not sure where it is. Let's go ahead and all types. Let's go to core, and let's see if I can find my Multiverse Nexus. There it is. So the unique effect is Death Wave, Golden Tower, and Black Hole will always activate at the same time, but the cooldown will be the average of those, plus 20 seconds. So right now the average of my ultimate weapons is obviously 2 minutes, so I don't want to average them and then add 20 seconds. That would be useless, so that's why I don't use this right now. But whenever you get this max level, it is ancestral, and it is negative 1 seconds. But the reason I want this is because once you get this one fully maxed out, it is negative 1 second, so it's the average of those, and then negative 1 second. But whenever you fully max out your ultimate weapons, the Death Wave, the Golden Tower, and the Black Hole, all of their cooldowns are at a different time limit. So like Black Hole cooldown is 50 seconds, and then Golden Tower cooldown I believe is like 1 minute and 40 seconds. And if it's not 1 minute and 40 seconds, it's give or take a few. It's in there somewhere. And so you want Multiverse Nexus at the end of the game, because these don't always activate at the same time, but you want them to activate at the same time because they their coin bonus is multiplicative. So right here in my lab number 2, my black hole coin bonus is times 11. So if I have a times 11 coin bonus for everything in the black hole, plus the 16 bonus in the golden tower, then I'm obviously making a lot more coins. And then you stack that on top of the golden bot in the shop here, and this bonus goes to times 6, if not even more. So you really want to optimize everything, and it gets really in depth the farther on you go. And that's something I really like about the game. Is face value, this game is really, not that complicated. It's just defending your tower. But the more in depth you want to go, the more in depth it can be. So we've covered our workshop. We've covered enhancements. We've covered our cards and where we're at there. I do switch over to this late farming, but the only thing that switches is these first 3 cards, I think. And so cash, coins, crit coin, the only thing that changes is coins, critical coins switch to there, and I add in extra orbs. I do believe everything else stays the same. I could be wrong, but I think I might add Death Wave actually. Yeah, it looks like I add Death Wave onto my late farming, which is totally fine because Death Ray, not Death Wave, sorry. It does more damage, so the later you go, you want more damage. And cash is only useful in the very beginning whenever you're trying to upgrade all of your workshop base level stuff. Merging, whenever you have certain modules, so if I put that there, I can merge things, and if I confirm merge, it would give me a legendary chronosync. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't need that. Shatter, if I put these in here to shatter, I will get 60 of those core shards. And then whenever I go back to inventory, you'll see I have 17,000 core shards, and I would upgrade this, but I can't upgrade it because it's at max level for the epic rarity. Now, if I had my dimension core, which is legendary, and I max this out, as you can see, it would go over the level 60 because the higher the tier of the item, the higher it can go. So Ancestral is the highest tier, so as you can see, 161, but they do go even higher to like 201 and even like 240 and stuff like that. Now there is things that were added to the game where you can have 2 modules on each of these sections. So you could have 2 cannons, 2 armors, 2 generators, 2 cores. That is probably 2 more years down the road of me playing this game before I get there. So I'm not even worrying about that. Now, labs is where I enjoy watching other people's videos, and so I'm going to spend a little bit of time on labs. As you can see, I'm working on lab speed, black hole coin bonus, wall regen, death wave health, and wall fortification. Now, me personally, I want to focus on EHP for the first roughly year of me playing the game, because as I mentioned, everyone switches to damage, which is glass cannon, later in the game. However, I want to be able to play how I want to play. I don't necessarily want to fully optimize the way I play, because I feel like that really kind of kills the fun out of it. Now, yes, I could make more coins faster and things like that, but whenever I do that kind of stuff, I lose interest in the game. So for me, I have 3 labs here. So lab 3, lab 4, lab 5, all working on EHP related upgrades to my tower. Now lab 2 is a coin upgrade, and lab 1 is a lab speed upgrade. So obviously every level of lab speed reduces the time of every other lab that I try to finish, and if I plan on playing for a really long time, then lab speed is obviously really. Black hole coin bonus is an econ lab, so economy based lab, and I will always have 1 lab dedicated to economy based, regardless of what type of build that I try to play. So right now, wall regen is a percentage of my overall base regen, my base health regen. So if I go back to my workshop and I click on health regen, you'll see that I have 152 billion regen per second. After my perks and everything like that, my health regen is at 25.74 trillion at the end of a run. So 25 0.74 trillion. If you take that by 200%, that'll be 50 trillion health regen. And so you're obviously able to survive longer because you're getting your wall regen that much more. Deathwave health, not only does it increase your normal health value, it also increases your wall health because your wall health is a percent of your normal base health. So that's why that's in there. Wall fortification is 700% more of your normal base wall health. So that's pretty self-explanatory why it's there as well. So if I click on this and I scroll all the way to the top, I am going to just kind of slowly scroll through here and show you some of the labs I have done. I'll mention a couple off the top of my head that are kind of noteworthy, I guess. So lab speed is 70. Attack speed's only 42, but that's one I want to increase for chain lightning as I transition into damage based. Health regen is 50. I want to get that a little bit higher for my wall regen. Wall health is maxed. Wall regen is level 19, working on level 20. Wall thorns is level 8 right now. That will go in my lab slot once the Deathwave health finishes. My wall fortification is 34. My coins per kill bonus is 45. That will go in once my black hole coin bonus is finished, my golden tower duration is finished, my golden tower bonus is finished, Deathwave coins bonus is finished, and spotlight coins bonus is finished. So coins per kill bonus has a little bit longer to go, but the other ones are a little bit more important to me right now, I think, given that my coins per kill bonus is already 45. Enemy attack level skip is definitely really important. There's only 20 levels there. That doesn't take very long. Health level skip is also very important, but I think I might push that off a little bit later. Reroll shards is very important, but again, I'm not going to focus on that as hard right now, even though I know I need it. That will be something that I focus on in about 2 to 3 months once I get some more important labs to me personally done. Now, common drop chance and rare drop chance, I do plan on putting those in relatively soon, getting those finished because those will help with my modules. And then same thing with daily mission shards, that will help with my modules as well. I've already finished my Deathwave cells bonus, which to me is a huge W because that means I can keep all of my labs going at a higher speed sooner. Game speed is max level. My workshop discounts I've not really worked on yet. Labs coin discount is something I do want to focus heavily on here in the coming future due to the card masteries and everything like that. My buy multiplier, stuff like that, you know, pretty easy stuff, just done and dusted, got that out of the way. These attack researches, haven't really worked on them. Light speed shots is very important. Defense percent is almost level 23. That is important because once it is level 23, mixed with the module substat and the perks in a run, you will max out at a defense percent of 98%, which is the most you can have, and you will be able to survive longer in your farming runs, making more coins. Orb speed is not as important right now as I thought it was when I first started those. That will be added back into my labs here in the coming future. Don't know exactly when. Same thing with Orbs boss hit. Wall rebuild will be slotted in once some of my other wall labs are done. Same with wall invincibility. Garlic thorns are very important for vampire enemies. Cash bonus, cash per wave, coins per wave, and interest and max interest are all relatively useless labs. They don't really do anything at all for you. Recovery package labs here. Recovery package chance is probably the most important for me, especially since I run the Galaxy compressor in my generator module slot. That will help continue getting me less and less time in between my ultimate weapons going off, meaning I will make more and more coins. Down here is the ultimate weapon research. Smart Missile Labs, Chrono Field, Poison Swamp, Golden Tower bonus and duration, which is what I'm going to work on after my Black Hole coin bonus right there finishes at level 20. I will be working on Golden Tower duration and then Golden Tower bonus. Once those two are done, I will move to Deathwave coin bonus and then after that I will work on Spotlight coin bonus. Once those are finished, I will be going into coins per kill bonus all the way until that one is max level. My most important thing that I want to work on is my coins and economy, because the sooner you get those done, the more and more you make later on in the game. And this game is entirely based off of coin income, and just the more and more you make sooner, the more it pays off later. So that's my philosophy, and that's why I'm focusing on EHP so heavily now, so I can tank and make more coins now, and so then it'll hopefully pay off in the later stages of the game. Inner landmine labs, chronofield labs, missiles, inner landmine stun, black hole damage, all of these that are revolving around your ultimate weapons and stuff like that are definitely very, very important, but I'm nowhere near starting those because of the priority I've set on my other labs. So card research, Second Wind Blast is Second Wind is a card. All of these affect your cards. So Double Death Ray is probably the only one I am interested in getting up. Not a lot, but definitely a little bit. Just increasing that percent little by little would definitely be good. Now, Energy Shield I also plan on working on in the near future. Maybe not anytime like specifically soon, but something that would be nice to have, because the Energy Shield mission in the event shop would be nice to complete a little bit quicker with that lab done. Down here on perks, I've done a pretty good amount of work on the perks. My standard perks bonus 25% just finished not that long ago. As a matter of fact, I think it was 1 to 2 days ago. So I'm very, very happy about that. My waves required, I would like to get up to maybe 25 or so. The waves required perk is the longest lab in the entire game. And I think even at a 6 times multiplier, it takes like 4 to 7 years to finish that lab. I can't remember. I think on a normal scale, it takes like 40 years to finish that. It's kind of absurd, but it's also kind of funny that the developers did that. Band perks level 6. As you can see, it's 93 trillion. I'm at 7 trillion, so I'm definitely not anywhere close to that, but that is one I would like to save up for, because again, the more bad perks you can get out of the way, then the sooner you can get the 2 times coin perk in every single run. And so the sooner you can get the 2 times coin perk, the more coins you make, and then it pays off later. That's the way I think of it. So I'm going to try to get that not as soon as I can, because I don't think it's worth saving that many coins, because again, I get 2 trillion coins per run, so that's 4 trillion a day. So right now that's a little bit outside of my range of being able to save for, but something I definitely want to work towards. Auto pick ranking is definitely an important one. I feel pretty good sitting at around 12 where I'm at now. Anything more than that, I feel like the time it takes to finish each lab is not really that important, given that it goes to 32. Down here in bots, Golden Bot is the only one I would be able to work on, because it's the only one I have unlocked, but these are also really important labs to work on slowly over time. But I'm a little bit far away from getting those completed like I would want to. So common enemy health, I don't know really why I read that, but enemy labs here, these are all really important as well, but also a very, very late game type of thing. As you transition to glass cannon and you are very damage based, you want all of your enemies to have slower attack speed, slower speed, overall less health, so that you are able to kill them faster. And right now I'm just not looking to do any of those kinds of labs. Module labs definitely would be looking at the module coin cost. And that's kind of the only one right now. I could definitely look into doing at least one effect ban on each of these, but right now it's just I can make more progress focusing my attention elsewhere, and so I'm not going to be doing those. So if I click on history really quick, you can see my most completed, my most recent completed labs. So I'll just scroll through here for a second. Wall regen, Deathwave health, black hole coin bonus, lab speed, wall fortification, Deathwave health, wall fort, Deathwave health. So August 19th, which was about 4 days ago, is when I got my standard perks bonus. So I guess I was a little off there, but yeah, just got that not that long ago at all. So that's definitely a big W, and I'm very happy to get that done. So I'll go back to the beginning of August here and show you guys what all of these labs look like so far, and a little bit into the end of July. So I did work on some of my reroll shards. Those are fairly quick and easy labs, but just not something I'm willing to fully spend 100% of my time on quite at the minute. So with that being said, I do believe we only have a couple things left to do. So I'll show you my profile here. We have 81 relics collected. I believe there's about 160 to 170 relics in total, give or take a few. So we can go through here. If I click on relics here, yeah, here we go. So scrolling through here, you can see all of the ones I have. I don't know. Yeah, this is the one I tried getting today. So 4,500 in tier 12. I only got to 3,300, but that increase in lab speed by 10%, that's a huge milestone and something that's really important I want to focus on. Unfortunately, I'm just a little bit far away from being able to complete that. I have my tier 11 milestone relic here, which is defense absolute by 10%. Not that good at all, unfortunately. Defense absolute's really not that good. There's a, let's see, yeah, here we go. So this was the last event, and it increases coins earned by 5%. Now, I have a couple of these, but, you know, it's hard to keep track of which one when there's so many events and so many relics. So I'm going to click on this little eye here. So damage bonus, attack speed bonus, crit chance. You can see my percent of all my base stats that is increased by my relics. So I think the main important one down here is going to be coin bonus, 28%, and maybe even lab speed bonus, so 17.5%. I really hoped I could get that to 27.5% today, but unfortunately I just couldn't complete that tier 12 milestone run. Themes, here is the skins I have unlocked so far. Have a decent amount, but not as many as I would like. Backgrounds, my music, there's only 3 that I think you can purchase right now. And then my menus. Profile, I showed that. My highest rank is champion 25, and my highest wave is tier 15, wave 58. I've not tried to increase that at all in the recent future. It's been like a month or so since I've tried that, so I could definitely get higher than that. But if I click on here, let's see, what's tier 15? I could maybe get to 100 and get some stones and gems, but nothing that would necessarily make a life-changing difference, so I'm not necessarily in a hurry for that. My first perk is wave perk requirement, so a negative 25% with the maxed out standard perk bonus. My banned perks, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, so defense percent, interest, enemy health, but health regen and lifesteal. I can't afford the health regen because as a wall, there's a perk that increases your health regen by 8.8 times, and so having my health regen by negative 90% is just not an option. Enemy speed, but enemy damage. I am a health build, so having the enemy damage at 2.5x is not an option. I rely on my cash to continually upgrade stuff pretty late in the game, so I don't want that one either because you don't get enough cash for that. And then ranged enemies damage times 3 at the top there. That's not worth it either because, again, I'm an EHP build, so for them to do 3 times damage is just not even in the question. So when I get my next ban perk, I think the next one that I plan on banning is going to be landmine damage. And the reason I say landmine damage is because there are 5 levels to that. So each, for those of you who have not played the game before, each perk that is this normal blue color here and not green, each one of these, besides game speed, has about 5 levels to it. So each perk comes about 100 to 200 waves, and so if I was able to ban landmine damage, then I would be able to max out my perks about 500 waves quicker, which would mean I get my auto pick, which means I would get my 2x coins that much quicker. I'd make that much more coins that much sooner each run, and then it would just pay off over the course of 1 to 2 years in the time that I play the game. So I like to look far down the road, and this is kind of where I have my auto picks at. Perk wave requirements number 1, I want to get those coins as quick as possible, and then game speed, and then golden tower bonus gives me coins and cash, and then overall coin bonus, black hole duration because my black hole gives me coins, enemy damage so I can last longer, my health regen so I can last longer, defense percent so I can last longer, my health regen so I can max my health regen and last longer, and my wall regen and stuff like that. I'm not really sure if there's anything else I would rather pick first. Maybe that the free upgrade chance could replace the tower damage, because I don't really need tower damage. Let us actually do that, because that seems like a silly mistake on my part for not having that in there for as long as it's been there. So everything else I can really live without. And then those are my banned perks, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and show off my stats one more time. Down at the bottom is my player ID and whatever. So my game stats, I started on March 16th. So March, April, May, June, July, August. Just crossed over the 5-month mark, closing in on the 6-month mark. I've got 133 lifetime coins, 133 trillion lifetime coins, sorry. That's funny. My cash earned is exactly 18 trillion. That's kind of crazy. My stones earned is 8,517. I have 0 keys because I've not been to Legends yet, so that'll be interesting to keep an eye on for the YouTube channel as we keep making videos on this. Damage dealt, waves completed, upgrades bought. This is an interesting one. Lab coins spent. So out of my 133 trillion, I've spent 35 trillion in the lab. Let's see, research completed. I've completed 811 researches in the lab. And then waves skipped 359,000. And then this is all of my waves and coins. So like I said, I farmed tier 8 overnight, and then I farmed tier 9 during the day. And then I did farm tier 7 last night to see what that coin difference looked like. So obviously that definitely paid off, making some extra coins, especially since I was asleep for most of that 12-13 hours. I think I started it at like 6 p.m. last night, so I had my phone open for about 2 to 3 hours while I was watching some TV, and then went to bed, woke up around 7-8 o'clock this morning, and then I think that run finished around 8 or 9 a.m. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, so that's what my runs look like. And yeah, I will keep you guys updated with things to come with the feature banner coming soon. And I appreciate you guys taking a tour of my tower. So with that being said, have a good day. See ya.